Okay, Survivor Series is still going on. It's just finishing now. Brock just beat Daniel Bryan. This is probably gonna be a shorter video because there's not a whole lot to talk about on this show. The biggest talking point from this show is that it happened. I'll just get right into it. Team SmackDown. The tag team match on the pre-show, Usos were sole survivors, had a good showing with the Revival. However, that match didn't count towards the final total of the night. So our opening match was the women's 5-on-5 match, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Yeah, just another, I don't understand. Asuka had a couple of eliminations, I think. And then they gave Nia Jax the win as sole survivor for some reason. I guess it's to build heat, but she got booed out of the building tonight, so it's not like that she needed more heat. It's sort of like the same thing with Jinder Mahal. He gave Finn Balor a concussion, and then 3 months later he was WWE champion. Nia Jax gave Becky Lynch a concussion. 6 days later, she's the sole survivor at Survivor Series. So, I guess sleeping your way to the top has been replaced by concussing yourself to the top. So yeah, Team Raw goes up 1-0. Second match was Shinsuke Nakamura, the U.S. champion, versus Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental champion. Solid match. Better than I expected for sure, just considering the work of Shinsuke Nakamura this year has been very couple of really good spots. Seth went for a suicide dive. Nakamura went to the opposite side. Seth came back at him from that side, but then Shinsuke caught him coming through the ropes with a kick. The last sequence was pretty sweet. Seth Rollins hit a super kick to the face, super kick to the stomach. Went for the curb stomp, Shinsuke moved, went for the sliding Kinshasa, Seth moved, and then curb stomp, 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought Nakamura should have taken this, just, have Dean Ambrose interfere in some way, but he didn't. Then the next match was AOP versus The Bar. This match was like... it went 10 minutes, maybe. It could have been a lot better than it was. The whole match just, the only talking point that comes out of this match was that while WWE was doing their thing with, all the different international commentators, some guy in the crowd stood up and was, getting the crowd to cheer. And guess who it was? It was the certified G, realest dude in the room, Enzo Amore. No, I am not kidding. The dude showed up in a motherfucking disguise with a black wig and a hoodie and sat second row on the hard cam side. So that way when he stood up, the camera would be shooting him. Didn't work. No one, people were cheering. They're like, oh, that's cool. Enzo Amore's here. But we don't really care. Yeah, security picked him up after about maybe 40 seconds of, him doing his thing. Then the match went on, and the ending of the match was ridiculous. Drake Maverick got involved. He put one of the author's foot on the rope. Cesaro chased him. He ran into Big Show. Big Show got him by the throat and put him up on the ropes, and and I'm not making this up, Drake Maverick pissed himself. It was enough of the distraction for AOP to hit Sheamus with the neck breaker bomb thing. I don't know why they're not using the last chapter anymore. They're not. So AOP goes up, wins. Raw goes up 3-0. Next was my personal match of the night, just because of the ability on display. Buddy Murphy defended the Cruiserweight Championship against Mustafa Ali. This is another match that should have gone maybe another 5-10 minutes. It only went about 10-15 minutes or so. If they had given them like 20 minutes, this could have been like an even better match than it already was. Just these two have the best chemistry out of everybody on 205 Live. Buddy Murphy has good chemistry with everybody, it seems. Dude is really the best kept secret. A couple of really sweet spots. Murphy was standing on the announcer's table, and Mustafa Ali jumped up and hit the Spanish Fly off the announcer's table. Mustafa Ali went for a springboard. Buddy Murphy caught him with a knee. Murphy hit his Murphy's Law, which is like some sort of weird twisting fireman's carry driver thing. I don't understand why that's his finisher. His frog splash is sick, so you should probably use that, but it's hard for anybody to use the frog splash because of Eddie. So yeah, Buddy Murphy wins. That doesn't count towards SmackDown versus Raw because it's its own thing. Next was the men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match, and oh my god, this match was so meh. Like, it was the most meh thing to ever meh in the history of meh. Samoa Joe was eliminated about 40 seconds into it. He went for the Coquina Clutch. Drew McIntyre kind of bridged out of it and hit him with a Claymore, and he was out. Then there wasn't an elimination for like another 10 minutes. Shane McMahon is a fucking mental case. He hit the leap of faith elbow drop through the announcer's table onto Braun Strowman. They were both out of the match for a good 10 minutes or whatever. Rey Mysterio eliminated Finn Balor. And then I think Rey's the one who eliminated Dolph Ziggler, or I don't remember who. Oh no, Shane McMahon hit a coast to coast on Dolph Ziggler, eliminated him. And then Braun came back in. He eliminated, in order, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Shane McMahon, all within about 2 minutes of each other. So your sole survivors are Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. This match did nothing for anybody. I guess it sort of moves the Braun versus Corbin storyline on. Storyline is probably going to come to a head at TLC. Yeah. Next was Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, a match that was ruined by Nia Jax because it was supposed to be Becky Lynch. Fuck you, Nia Jax. I didn't want to blame Nia, but the fact that, they're like, she's like, oh, she's the face breaker. Like, it's just like, why are you using a real life injury to get her heat? Like, it's not like they're on the same brand. If they were on the same brand, it'd be one thing, but they're not, so fuck off. This was a good match, probably the third best match of the night. I had a feeling it was going to have a wonky finish, because, I wasn't sure, because it was either Ronda's going to win clean or Ronda's going to win dirty. It's one of the two. I assumed that Becky Lynch would interfere and attack Ronda. But instead, Charlotte hit Ronda with a kendo stick and then hit her again and again and again with the kendo stick. She just beat the living shit out of her with kendo sticks. Then she hit her with a natural selection onto a steel chair and then put her neck inside the steel chair and then stomped on the chair. So, Ronda got her throat crushed or something, but she was standing 10 minutes later. So I don't know, I get why. I don't understand it. Unless Charlotte's moving to Raw and you need a top heel, which is Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, what's the point of having Charlotte and Becky both be heels unless they're not booking Becky as a heel anymore? I got a feeling maybe on Tuesday, Becky will say something stupid I wanted you to hurt her, but you went too far, and then Charlotte attacks Becky, and then we get Becky versus Charlotte at TLC, which has been the proposed match for a while. Yeah, sure, okay. And then the main event of the night was Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. If I sound just exhausted or uninterested, it's because I am. This whole show was just oh god, I don't even know how to describe it. This whole show was just meh. When it comes to main roster pay-per-views, I don't usually have high hopes, but I have like an expectation that there's going to be at least 3 or 4 really solid matches. But there wasn't tonight. There was like 2, maybe 3, if you count Charlotte versus Ronda, which is hard to count because it didn't actually have a finish. Anyway, main event of the night was Brock Lesnar, Universal Champion, versus WWE Champion Daniel Bryan, because he turned heel on Tuesday. Another person turning heel, by the way, on Tuesday, and beat AJ Styles for the championship. And this whole match was just... it was a squash match for the first, like, 15 minutes or so. Brock threw Daniel around the ring like he was a toy. He hit him with an F5, and then he pulled him up from it. Bryan got in a couple of kicks to the head, and then the referee, they do that classic F5 spot where, the guy who Brock's in with the F5, his feet connect with the referee. Bryan kicks Brock in the dick, hits the running knee, but only gets a 2 count. And then the rest of the match was, Bryan trying to pin Brock. He almost got brought to tap out to the S-lock, but then Brock picked him up because Bryan went into a triangle choke or something, and then Brock pulled him up, threw him on his shoulders, F5, 1, 2, 3, show's over, thankfully. Overall, like, I'm rushing through this because there's not a lot to talk about on this show. This show was horrendously boring. Worst pay-per-view of the year? Quite possibly, because it was just so boring. I hate being like, oh, worst pay-per-view ever, yeah, but then the title, that's some clickbait shit right there. So yeah, worst pay-per-view of the year, probably, in my opinion. I haven't actually watched all the pay-per-views this year just because I've been working and shit. It's just hard. I feel like we're harsher on the main roster when there's an NXT show the night before. So, like, if they didn't do NXT the same weekend as Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, whatever, I feel like we wouldn't be so harsh on the main show because our expectations are up here after NXT. Like, they're huge. But they should be down here because we know that the main roster hasn't been able to really put anything solid together this year. Like, I can't really think of any pay-per-view that was, like, really good this year. I think people said nope, Money in the Bank was garbage. It was what I missed the show. I think it was Hell in a Cell. People were saying Hell in a Cell was really good. Was not really good, but it was good this year. Other than that, all I know is I don't have much else to say. All I gotta say is I definitely have a big list of things to go through for my worst of WWE 2018 list video, which will be out probably the same week as TLC. So like the week of TLC's on a Sunday. My videos for worst of WWE will probably be out that same week, just because there's probably not much else to go through. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, whatever this is, it's I guess a rant more so than anything. Not really a discussion, more of a rant. Like, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at slackstyle09. That will be down in the description. And I will see you guys for my TLC review.